niggas. Back. Finish it off. Well, maybe the next one, because I got bones to pick. So I'll give you two more, and then we'll get back to Aaliyah. And then we say crank the winky in up. First and foremost, like I say, shout out to Irish and Orish. Shout out to the whole 702 crew. I'm gonna internet access right now, so I'm gonna have to go and I'm gonna go listen to the album after I finish this one because first and foremost 702 7 cipher 2 702 72 77 G 2 is B 7 plus 2 is 9 is I B B-I-G B.I.G. ladies and gentlemen, Notorious Big. But I'm not just sitting there for no reason, because the album, I can't remember what happened when I went and listened to the album, No Doubt. When I went and listened to that album last year around this time, that's why I'm trying to, which I'm getting back into music. I've been doing a good job of it this week. Weaning off of the internet thing to a certain degree. You don't want to totally throw it away, but just getting caught up in the information cycle. It's taking me from, I'm going back to the youth now as a youngster. I'm listening to albums and shit because I ain't been doing it. It's like so much shit that came out. Yeah, I'm reacclimating myself into going back and listening to music the way I did as a youth. Slow process, but I can get there. Even if I gotta get, I'm thinking about getting me some CDs, start going online and just ordering CDs and shit when I get a chance, or I get some bread around it, bit. But I remember when I went and listened to that album, Big showed up, and I think they sampled something from Big, from one of the songs. I gotta go back and listen to it though. Y'all go check it out yourself, you'll see it, but see what jumps out to you. But like I said, man, shout out to the girls, man, where my girls at. That was I personally think, and not just really, like I was finna say, I think that the youth of today should embrace, not necessarily, and then if you're gonna go and remake some shit, man, from the old, from our shit, from the old school or whatever, twist the shit up or something, man. Don't just take a beat and get on the shit and think just because you own the beat and it's old school, you paying homage to some kind of way or some shit. Add some kind of creativity to the shit or something, man. Don't just, I don't know, man. Even in the 90s and 80s and shit, and 70s when niggas was sampling and shit, at least they was sampling, and that's magic. Even when you do magic, if I tell you to do some shit, or do this, that, or third, you always want to add your own spunk to it to increase the magic. Don't just take some shit and pick a nigga whole shit and just, I'm not saying on certain occasions that may work, but you gotta twist the shit up or something. And if you don't do shit, make sure the shit is good, man. Because a nigga can just go listen to the old shit. It's better. But go and listen to, because I know it's a divide between, I know the divide between this generation, the generation of the last 10, 15 years, 20 years, or whatever, I'll say 15, like, to be safe. It's more of a gulf in between them and, say, the 90s or the early 2000s, and especially the 80s, we ain't know that for a fact, than it was between me or our generation in the 90s and old school shit, period. That really, like I said, especially with no gap, but we still knew how important Aretha Franklin was, Mahalia Jackson, and Luther. Well, Luther that wasn't too far. That's the '80s, but we knew the Temptations was something. We knew fucking Supremes and the Jackson 5. That's too easy right there though. But we knew this shit was special or whatever. We knew we still drew inspiration from those times. I think the youth today is so caught up in their own shit. That's why I don't know. It's like I said, I don't try to paint too broad of a brush, but this shit is lacking some kind of spunk. Not all of it. Like I said, you got some good shit out there too. I'm never gonna, but it's certain shit I be hearing. But if it mainly the most popular shit, I never hearing this shit and be like, that's all you got. That's what you got. Come on, man. But listen to that 702 album, man. Them girls fire. That was a vibe, man. Like I said, I grew up listening to all that shit. Now, album wise, so I just listened to the whole album, like I said last year. But that's because I'm predominantly a rap guy or whatever. But even in me being predominantly a rap guy or a hip hop dude, I still love R&B. I just never went. I brought. I said the first album I ever bought was Big Shit. Then I brought. Before that, it was. Matter of fact, I think it was. Shot the Bushwick too. We here too. Bushwick Bill. Pygmy, Little People, Magic. Let me hold that because I'm gonna get that. But I said that because I think the first album I brought was I want to say that. I think the first album I bought, if I'm mistaken, at least with my own money, was the first shit I ever bought probably was I Want to Be Down and the single, and Just One of Them Days by Monica. I think I bought them 2 singles. I think after that it was Big. Ready to Die, if I'm not mistaken. I know Big was the first hip hop album I ever bought, but I think before that it was Brown. I don't know if I got both of them. I think I did. I know for sure I got Monica. Just One of Them Days, at least a single. But I think I got I Want to Be Down too. But I never just really went and bought R&B albums like that. But what came through the radio or whatever, we love that shit. Plus all the old school shit we grew up. Parents grew up with the old school cats listening to shit. The Oasis and all that. Like I said, we knew how important that shit was. The Temptations and this. Yes, you asked one of these youngsters today who was Brownstone, which was an awesome group. But they probably would know them because I think Nikki's on one of the reality shows. So maybe they wouldn't know through her, but as far as just the group itself, it takes that type of shit these days. An old school person would have to be on a fucking reality show or something just for you to get the link to the actual group. But as far as it would take a real seasoned youngster to really be. And it's just like I said, I don't hang around youngsters all day like that, but just what I see reflected through entertainment, I don't get the vibe that these youngsters really have a respect for, because there's a lot of great music that, like I said, I can speak for the late 80s and the early 90s thoroughly. And we had a lot of good music come out. And like I say, I think the what happened when one of the things we all missing in R&B is the groups, the girl groups and the boy groups. But I can understand that. For one, there was a problem back then because with the groups is always a thing where 4 or 5 people, you gotta split this fucking money, which they already getting screwed out of because the contracts is bullshit. So that's always a detriment when you're dealing with about 4 or 5 people and you gotta split these itty bitty checks. And you know, especially now, it definitely wouldn't be conducive to being a group now because even when you go on tour, the label gets money off of that shit. So in this 360 shit, they can't even go and cut a side deal with Levi's or some shit without the fucking record label with their hands in the shit. So that just shortens the bread up. It'll probably be wise for a group, even if a group of people came out as a group and came out as a group. While our ideas of being a group, it'll probably be financially beneficial for them to start out as individuals, break off and do their own shit, and then come back together, make whatever they can make as an individual, and then do the group thing more so as a more so for the love of the art, not expecting too much money out the shit because it's shortchanging the shit. Cause you gotta split the shit 3, 4, 5 ways or whatever. Then the music industry money is dwindled down, so that makes it even more. It was fucked up then. Probably why a lot of groups broke up outside of the ego. I want to be this one. Oh, he fucked my girl, but she fucked my man, and all this old. I'm not saying this thing with 702. I'm just saying, you hear the stories, uncensored and all that shit. Uncensored is a bad month, but you need to watch that shit. And you'll really see. I could watch it just by watching uncensored. When I saw the pattern that was uncensored, I can tell that the music industry, the labels and the big wigs and that shit, I can see what they doing or did or whatever. They introduce. Some people come in the game already doing drugs and shit, but they introduce these people to the drugs to get them off their game. That's how it always happen. They come. A lot of stories I've seen where there just be some bright-eyed kids trying to do their thing, and always end up when they started smoking crack and they just couldn't get off that powder. Oh, it's alcohol just took them out. I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is a pattern. I'm like, a lot of these people don't even have these problems until they get in the music industry and they end up broke drug addicts and shit. And I'm like, okay. And then you hear about the industry parties, the plate being passed around, and the wild parties and shit they be having. But yeah, you hear these stories, and I'm like, but yeah, just watching numerous amounts of Uncensored, I saw a pattern, and it seemed as if that was the whole setup. Keep them off their game. You can rob them easily of their money and contracts and shit. You know, you take some. Not saying some people come to the game with their own vices, but I think there's a lot of groups, and this ain't got nothing to do with 702. I don't think that was Iris died of health complications. Fucking with them doctors. I don't know what's happening with them doctors and shit. Every time somebody go in the I don't trust doctors and shit. So, but this ain't got nothing to do with them in particular. I was just saying it based off of the groups. But But that played a part. Like you got 3 or 4, 5 people in a group. The reason why I say really just more than one person these days. Everybody's so egotistical, but even back then, 3 or 4, 5 people, things happen. Heads bump. But it's hard to keep because everybody got their own visions of things. Some people might want to. And then you got the label. You might be a group have your own. You might not have a lead singer. Y'all might just take turns. You get to the label. We think this one should do that and that and that. And then you gotta understand what you're dealing with. You're dealing with the beast. So the divide and conquer shit. It's gonna be in there. So it just. And then of course, this one even got it. All 5 members or 4 members can be getting along in the group when you just can't get the right amount of money based off the fact that you is split in too many ways. It don't even have to be no eternal problem. They just be this shit ain't working, bro. We ain't eating good enough. You have to boss is good to. I think the group thing should come back because there's something about that. It's something about that lead singing and then that 4 following people in the back. Oh, yeah. It's something about that shit. That's why churches have choirs. There's something spiritual about that shit. But it's hard when everybody can't get, you trying to eat off 4 or 5 people trying to eat off one small ass plate. So, like, I don't even think, I don't know. But due to the fact you don't see that many new up and coming groups, that will put me under the impression that a lot of the youth don't even aspire to do the group thing no more. As far as this generation as a collective, which is understandable. He probably subconsciously can read the room around this motherfucker. But I think that's something that's missing, and I would say even if it took, even if it took 3 or 4 R&B singers to come together who already got their own shit established, who can do that more so of a leisure thing or a fun thing, who already got their shit together on their individual things. So when they do the group thing, it won't be that big of it's more of a fun thing because it's like, well, I'm already good. This just we get what we get out of this, and we'll do this for the fans. You know what I'm saying? But eat as well, get what we can get out of it. But we don't get much. It won't be no big deal because we set off our own shit or whatever. You get where I'm coming from? But I think because I'll be sitting in my little fake. Well, I don't say fake, but if I would have been in the music industry, I'd be in some type of mogul or some shit right now. So I'm thinking from my armchair mogul mind, I guess. Some shit, but so yeah, I think that is missing though, man. That in vogue type feeling, you know what I'm saying? But I think today it would have to be, since the money is so dwindled down in this economy when it comes to the entertainment industry or whatever, it'd have to be a group of people that already have their own thing established. So like I said, that won't be their main source or even something they would miss if it don't pop or they don't get as much as they can get out of it. It'd be like, well, at least we try like a hobby, you know what I'm saying? But at least it'll put that feeling back out there. And who knows, they might blow to the point to where they can't eat good out the shit. But they ain't gonna work on up 360 deal shit though. That's bullshit. But I just want to say that. But I wasn't. That's probably what I'm gonna do. I think I need to do, since I'm going back, taking my journey back into listening to music more. I probably need to start with R&B and other genres, and then come back to rap because there's a lot of shit we miss with rap. But like I said, there's so much shit that we didn't have the internet, so it's niggas that I like that I've never even heard albums from and shit. just heard verses and from on other niggas shit and heard them on features or whatever. So it's just a vast amount of shit. I think that cause I was listening to something the other day. I can't remember what it was, but I was listening to something that sparked me. I was like, man, we need that really, that temptation type shit again, boys to men type thing. But the money situation, nobody want to be running around on tour and shit for peanuts. So I get that part too, so that would be a factor. But yeah, man. But now, so we come up in our era, man. A lot of niggas didn't even, especially when rap became so dominant that rap was so dominant. And I think it's dominated to the point where it is dominated R&B. It is too. The rap and R&B fusion was started in the 90s with people like Aaliyah. I can say she's probably one of the forerunners of that. And Mary, because Mary more so, I think her style of dressing was more so, because she's the first queen of hip hop and R&B, so we had to take it to Mary. And I think Aaliyah, she didn't carry that torch too. I feel like it was more infused in the music with Aaliyah. It was infused in Mary shit too, but it was more infused with in the music with Aaliyah. I think the actual music was more hip hop influenced than Mary. But I think eventually it dominated. That's why now you hear these niggas singing like rappers. It's like, it's cool too in specs, but it's like, goddamn, this niggas is, who bet you can put my home? And I'm like, fuck it home. It's like, these niggas crazy. Yeah, that should be cool too, He knows I ain't loyal and all that shit. They ain't, a lot of them ain't, but I just think I can't explain it to the fullest, but you said you gotta kind of differentiate a little bit now. I don't know. That's why I don't know, man. That's how I come from here. Really, when I was coming up, it was more so like, at least from my perspective, it was more so the women were more so on R&B and the men were more so hip hopish. Women listen to hip hop. Don't get me wrong. And maybe it's a South thing or whatever. Maybe on the East Coast, women were more into hip hop than women in the South or whatever. But when I was coming up, I think the women were more geared towards R&B. Not saying they didn't listen to hip hop too, but women were more geared towards R&B, so they were a little bit more softer. Now at least everybody's a fucking gangster and all this shit. Women were more so softer in the 90s because it was, we'll be over here jamming, whatever we jamming, and they'll be singing, escaping shit over there and doing their shit and all that. It's like now it's so blended. These hoes think they niggas. But I just want to say that for now, man. But let me get back into some of this this Irish Amenta joint. Probably ruffle a few feathers in this next one, but I got bones to pick, so fair warning. Yeah. Not this one, the next one though. Wait till I want to be on point with this one. Africa, the home of the pygmies, is presumably the birthplace of the dwarf races, now represented by the diminutive wee folk of the dark continent. The earliest immigrants who made their way out of the land and wandered over Europe would be akin to these in stature, like the Lapps who follow them a short distance. These were the wee folk in human form. Now I'm telling y'all niggas, we folk, the little people. We mean little. We street. We even had smoker on my block named Weed. You can find him up there, had a big ass booty. That's why that's why I came up to this shit Weed Street, because I'm from Foreign West. Foreign Park and Foreign West. Primarily Foreign West though, because we rep the curve, Ravencrest, which sat on Foreign West. W-E-S-T, Weed Street, W-E-S-T. You dig? So you ever hear me screaming Weed Street? I'm just screaming out the Foreign West, or the Southwest, the whole West, Weed Street. Land, the little people. Not saying everybody from my block was little, but I'm a little guy, so that's when my favorite color became green, and I started walking around. That bitch looked like a leprechaun in the 90s, mid-90s, early 90s, mid to early 90s, Green Bay attire and green and gold lists, and yeah. So these are there's another factor to be taken into account before we can ascertain the origin of the we folk as spirits in a tiny fairy shape. These do not simply represent the pygmy race of human beings, but are the same primitive people translated into the spirit world from the time when the race was of the pygmy stature. And like I said, this right here is showing you, basically speaking about when they say the earliest immigrants who made their way out of the land and wanted over to Europe. Basically, that's a reference to how the leprechaun in Europe or in Ireland, the original snake people came from Africa, where, like I said, they say the original people of the planet was the small race, the pygmy or the Tuatha. We call it pygmy, is like they say it's a derogatory term, but the Tuatha people, go that Twa again, that Twilight, Twilight, the little light, Twilight, the little spark, fairy, little spark. But that they came from Africa. Like I say, crossed over to Europe as travelers we are, and populated their land as little people. That's what a leprechaun was. That's how it became. Basically, all the Irish lore that you see in Ireland is actually comes from Africa, which is what we've been breaking down here. But anyway, we gather from the secret wisdom that the earliest beings who entered the neither earth were dwarfs or dwarfish people. The god Tuatha, who opened the underworld by tunneling the Mount of Amenta, is himself a dwarf. The seven Nematuna, that assisted him with pygmies. First come the African pygmies, second the mythical pygmies of Tuatha, third the human souls that are the same in stature. So I'm saying the soul is a spark. That's what the old Jack and the Giant Slate, Jack and the Beanstalk, David and Goliath. The pebble would be the small pebble that slew the giant, etc., etc. The Martian or folk tales of the Asiatic and European races are the debris of the Egyptian mythos. Fairyland is no conception of the Celts, of the Celtics, nor original product of the Aryan imagination. It is the Camite earth of eternity in the lower world, the Mount of Earth, which was excavated by the pygmies of the open of Tuatha. From no other land or literature, from no other land or literature than Egyptian, we can explain the we folk in fairy mound or Sid. Sid, they say pronounced she, C. It's spelled S-I-D, but then right here it said pronounced she. But it could be Sid too, because that's where the city shit come from. So, we compare the Egyptian she or shu for the hollow, the void, and it shoots up the sarcophagus, which will be this. I'll just take this shit down so y'all can see it. Okay. So this is Shu, ready to win. That's what Shu really represents. He creates the hollow when it inhales or sucks this up to heal. This is the seed, the mound, the fairy mound or whatever. Ptah, when this goes up, and then the melanin oozes down, and it comes down to these flanks. You still have light, the light going towards the center, going up, but at the same time you have light. The light is chiseling out. This is what Ptah is. So you had a matriarchal and a patriarchal. When you hear about Ptah, you hear him say that that's an all male thing. But basically what it's saying is it's describing masculinity in so many words. We'll get into that later though. But those tunnels that created the wells and springs beneath the earth were chiseled out or carved out. That's the tunnels of Amenta and all that. They were chiseled out about that light. About the same light that was once that damn fast. That'll be it was chiseled out by the light. So Ptah represents those small sparks. This light was chiseling those tunnels and holes. That's what Ptah and the pygmies are, the little tunnels of light. Before pre-physical, when it was just straight up souls or whatever. This is masculine energy. This is feminine. Same way you enter the womb of a woman, the light was penetrating the melanin or the feminine aspect and creating those tunnels. Can't have one without the other, man. I'm just setting you up for that. And then you can look closer up there. You see those, that's why I got them little flecks of yellow in there. That represents the little flecks of yellow on these right here. Those are the small pygmy or the souls. That's when you're saying the pygmy is the same stature. Or the pygmies were small because the soul is small. So the original people all in stature, gnomes and dwarfs, because the soul was small, so that's a parallel there, so to speak. And this is where your rainbow come from, or your Skittles. Like I say, when the earth finally blew off and all those, each one of them 7 chakras shot a spark off into, there ain't no planet. You talk, you come from a planet, I'm from this planet and planet this and planet that. You better be one of these 7 motherfuckers. That's all that's out there. These 7 planets, the moon and star series, and the stars. The rest of that shit ain't nothing but comets and shit, ain't nothing but debris of melanin that blew out from the earth when the star was shot out. Ain't nothing else out there. Wrap it up. Oh, from planet Zycon and all that dumb shit. Even Saturn isn't a planet that's out there. It's Saturn was a condition, a rugged condition. It wouldn't, ain't no place you want to live. It's just about chastisement. About winter's Capricorn, which falls under Saturn. Cold, lack of sun, all that shit go together with APAP and all that to a certain degree. That ain't no fucking La La Land. You don't want to put a Saturn. No, you don't. That shit is That's the APAP shit. That's the shit. These niggas just crazy. Talking and just talking, thinking the Earth is the fucking planet. Only physically speaking, like I said, all the stars have a core. So Sirius would have a core, a small core, or whatever. The 7 planets would have a small core that the light is emitting from. That's why Earth is a giant, because it's a big old physical place. But ain't no fucking planet. Don't let these niggas fool you, man. I'm showing you shit. This the outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Your inner world consists of 7 chakras, a pineal gland, the light that exists within your melanin all throughout your body, which would be correspond to the stars. The melanin within your body would be the darkness of space, littered with stars. The light that exists within your melanin in your body will correspond to those stars. Star Sirius, the pineal gland. The conscious mind, the sun, the spirit, or whatever. How you want to put it, but ain't no fucking. We don't get into that next week. I got some bones to pick. We're gonna talk about some shit later in this next one. I'm gonna show you why I done it while I'm waiting for the more to do it. Yeah, that's what the small Peter rolling. You ever heard of Peter when you beat a nigga, whether you playing dominoes and shit, or you blow a nigga eye, we call it a Peter roll. Or when you go to what's that, Greece or some shit, eat the pita bread, Peter roll, where you say Peter roll a nigga, Peter man. Peter roll a nigga, Peter roll, I mean you beat a nigga, you blew a nigga eye, 20, 50 old. Peter rolled them. Patar rolled them, because Patar is represented by the dung beetle, the scarab. The dung beetle it plants its eggs in feces or the dung and rolls it backwards. It uses its hind legs to roll it in the same path as the sun goes around the earth in. And the dung, the shit, the soot, that's where the word shit comes from. Shit, should, soot. When you light a match, that blackness that's left behind after the flame go out, what they call it, soot or smut. The soot, the physical body, the spirit or the soul, the spirit realm is the flame or the fire, the ethereal fire. We are posterior or after the physical came after the spiritual. So the physical body would be that flame. The physical body would be that soot. That's why soot is representative of the physical body, physical material world. The stubbornness, because the physical is more stubborn than the spirit. The spirit is more free flowing. The physical is more fixated. So this is the after spot. After this, the physical body would be the dung. Back on our bullshit, the soul would be the egg, the flame that you have to rekindle through the arts. That's what art is. That's what art is for. Art is for. It's more than just entertainment. Your art is for. That's why I said that's what's missing from art, hip hop and R&B and all this shit today. The art, the real. You can listen to our shit. Then it would awaken. I can give you example after example of how it worked with me. But it was entertainment and it was violence and all that old shit. But it sparked it. When you listen to the right people, or you look at the right type of movies, or you look at even pictures and shit, they spark certain parts. My pox say I spark the brain. The arts originally was about entertainment, but the entertainment was supposed to have some type of element to it that woke you up or rekindled the fire within you. Niggas don't even make. You don't even have to figure nigga shit out. I come from an era where a nigga say some shit, a nigga might make a reference to a movie, and he might say that shit so clever to the point that, well, you ain't never seen that movie, you don't know what the fuck it just happened. Nigga that said some shit and made a reference to a movie, and I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about at the time. Then I seen the movie 2 or 3 years later, like, oh shit, that's what that nigga meant when he said that. Oh, that boy I told. Yeah, it ain't none of that shit no more. It's just straight up booty cheeks clapping. Bitch, take this money. Shut up, bitch. Bring your friend with you. And all this old dumb shit. These niggas ain't shitting on this shit, man. I'm listening to you niggas. I'm like, you know, yeah, man. If niggas ain't doing it, man. And it's something should be sounding good. It just don't be doing it, man. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I be rooting for you niggas. I'm not the old. I'm not old first and foremost. That shit straight. That dumb shit. Thinking 40 is old and all this shit. You niggas age like dogs. That's why y'all age like dogs. When you think like a fucking, your mind is fucked up. But that's why niggas, like you say, in the old days, motherfuckers used to live 100, and you read the Bible, some motherfuckers is 200 years old, and Methuselah was 300 years old, and all this shit. That, you thinking that was just similar. No, them niggas probably did live that long. Because the world wasn't as toxic as it is now. See, now it's hard to live. If ain't a nigga trying to kill you, it's the food you eating, or some shit they put in the water, or some shit. We came when the planet was ran by people who knew what the fuck they was doing. It was more conducive to life, so it was more easy to live. Now we don't even know the fruit and shit we eating real. The fuck, there ain't no seeds in this shit. You gotta make it real. Make it real, Neo. You gotta eat this shit and say, this orange is gonna give me the nutrients I need, even though it's fake as fuck. You gotta do magic just to eat around this motherfucker. This grape. Just doing it. And that works too, don't get me wrong. I'm not just saying you have to, even though it's GMO, forget about it. It's like the nigga best for your boy Morpheus was telling them niggas in the man. Then niggas looking at that gray slop, and nigga telling nigga it's got everything you need in it. Don't worry about it. That's what he was trying to tell him. Just eat this shit. You're gonna do what it's gonna do what it's supposed to do. Now if you sitting here harping on it, eating these GMO berries all day, it's gonna be GMO berries. Fuck it. Fuck you up. It's just the mind. Set our minds to trick yourself and shit. This popcorn is gonna do the trick. And it does for me. I'll eat an orange, that bitch be fake, but I'll be feeling, well, I'm still a little different. It's still nutritional here. But that's the world we living in today. But yeah, man. I ain't just some like I said, I'll be looking for this shit. Listen, I want you niggas I want to listen to some young niggas like, yeah, this nigga doing it. Fuck yeah. Do that shit, man. It's popping. I'll be like, that shit alright, but it's missing something. I don't know what it is, but it's missing something. Especially with the girls. I was rooting for y'all at first. This shit just turned into how fine the bitch is. And that's good for y'all. Women, and that's where I guess we draw the line at. It just, to me, just said y'all became more vain. Like I said, I go listen to some women from the 90s, early 2000s rapping and shit. And they still had that art to them. This shit is just turning into, like I said, at least the shit I'm hearing. I know there's a lot of different shit underground and people that ain't pushed it up that's doing a good thing. That's cool too. But the shit that's mainstream, this shit is turned into Gucci bags and big booties. And I like big booties and shit, but I don't want my rap. That's the only thing you gonna rap about, how fine you is and shit. Shit, man, I don't want to hear that shit all day. Bitch, I know you vain. Bitch, shut up. Rap about some other shit. Look at me, I'm down as fuck, and my titties bigger than hers. I took her man. I'm like, bitch, I can't relate to that shit all day. You need to have some shit. I don't know what the fuck you need to have. This shit is getting ridiculous. Mirror, y'all gotta, come on, man. Y'all gotta get back to some real art, man. And you can do all that shit. I'm not saying you can't have that in cope, because that's, rapping about relationship ills and how niggas ain't shit. Yeah, it's niggas who ain't shit out there, and it's people who's dealing with niggas who ain't shit. So that type of music needs to be made too. But when all you harping on, man, it's like, come on, bro. God damn. I ain't talking about the old, I don't know, man. I laugh on your lapel. clamp on your little lapels. Shit, these niggas wow. But once this is, see how after, I don't want to sound like a broken record, man, but I'm gonna keep singing this shit till I don't want to. I don't know, but I don't even be. I just want to be able to listen to the urban stations again and be like, I listen to the radio. A lot of niggas from my era don't listen to the, like, we was, not just because of now, I'm talking about when we was coming up. Niggas was like, I don't fuck with those. So a lot of niggas, like street niggas for a lot of, me personally, I'm a patron of the art. Plus I always had aspirations of being in the game, so I always kept my ear to the industry and the street. So I listen to music. I like to go to sleep and wake up. I remember going to sleep and waking up and hearing a song, one of my favorite songs of the rotation of that era. And that shit just started my day out good. I wake up hearing fucking dun 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 down ass chick remixes and all that shit. Oh, it's gonna be a good day. You know, it's gonna be a good day. I still be looking for that shit. I get up now and it's just, bitch, I got your man in there crying in the belly with me and all this old stupid shit. You finna buy me a new purse. You finna buy me a new purse. Goofy. There you go. Goof truths. The sun come out of here. Whoop. Bow. When this goes up, it howls. As the sun goes up and opens up the chakras and clears this land out, it hollows it out. That's where the fairies and the little shit that we have feel so low. The vibration of the average human is so low. You can't see them when you gotta do a high vibration. You can understand that fairies and shit. I done seen some shit. I done seen a nigga make some shit fly. Like, oh, it wasn't no tricks and no fucking. I done seen some shit myself too in my own house. Yeah, I seen some shit. So, but you know, you got, it's like this. And I know how, because look, I'm gonna show you how I know this shit real. But let me get this shit first. That's guys. See how that light. The cornerstone, the stone that the builders refused, would be the cornerstone. Why? Because the builders were building on the flanks out here. The cornerstone is where all this shit is operating from, the center. So this would be the foreman, and all these, the builders were working for the goddamn cornerstone. So it became the cornerstone. The sun came, whoop, then it came up, tilted, shot out, and the earth, the sun, and up in the corner. The same as I got it right here, ends up in the, y'all looking at it from the other side, but it's the cornerstone hitting the earth from an angle in the corner. It rises in the northeast. The sun rises in the northeast from the northeast corner of the eastern axis. So, but what if I was gonna say something? The reason why you don't see, you would still think it's just movie shit, fairies and gnomes and shit like that, is because humanity just feels so fucking low. It's just like niggas like me. Or a lot of conscious people. You don't really. Now I'm a social nigga, don't get me wrong. I ain't the type where I feel like, well, if you ain't conscious, if you ain't talking about Patal and the unks and shit, I can't hang with you. I'm not that guy. But you start to notice that the more and more your vibration raises up, the more, we'll just say this, because I'm not antisocial, but the more you start to be, you just say selective of who you be around, because you start to, it's like the, because people that be on a low vibration, it starts to conflict sometimes, and niggas, a lot of times it can end up with these motherfuckers attacking you or being against you or something. Jealousy, it comes out in the form of jealousy. I don't know what it is about that nigga, I just don't like him. But bitch, it ain't me. It's the aura. It ain't my fault. My aura is, but it is my fault. I'll take full responsibility for that. Fuck that. Scratch that. But it ain't my fault. You kill my level, bitch. That's how I can tell them motherfuckers. Like I said when I was in school, motherfuckers be like, oh, he think he all that. And that's that type of shit. He thinks he all that. Look at him. Walking with that cool stride. Bitch, what I'm supposed to be doing? Well, them, I'm nothing. No, bitch, I'm supposed to do this. You supposed, man, look. When my nigga died, when my nigga transformed or made the transition, her, when we be in the hood, one thing she used to do, she'd stick up playing around. She'd like, what's up, nigga? She'd do this shit here, walk up on you like playing and shit, you know what I'm saying? When she passed on, bro, I found myself doing it without even thinking about it. Like right that same little, within the same little 2 or 3 weeks she passed, I found myself doing that for some reason. But it was her. And you know what I'm saying? Because that's what you're supposed to do. You're pretty supposed to. I ain't saying you gotta walk around all extra with it, but you're supposed to back, you know, have your back, your shoulders out, back up, you know, your chin up, you know what I'm saying? That's why you like, but you should like essays, they be like, your chest out of whatever. That's spiritual. It opens this, when you do this, I'm not saying you gotta be all extra, but you be mindful of it, because sometimes you can relax too, every room is, but sometimes you want to do that. You want to kind of, when you walking or whatever, or like say you going out sunbathing, or it's a beautiful day, you want to catch some sun rays. You know, put your shoulders back, and you know what I'm saying, and do that. Not just because I say so. Take what I just said. Read this right here. Yeah. And now I get you and see what I'm saying. But I was finna do something over here, but I almost, we'll come back to that though. Yeah. But so you know, but that type of shit, I've seen them on eyes. I don't be bothering nobody, just mind my own business. That nigga think y'all that, that's that type of shit that make you be like, yeah, make you wanna just be standoffish, cause motherfuckers be, you know, you be around that sort of motherfucker that just stay taking them slick shots and that little just snide remarks and shit. That type of shit. That's what humanity as a whole has become to the spirit realm, which is on a higher level. So since humanity as a whole is so fucked up, it's harder for you to see them, or it's harder for them, they don't come around or come out like that for no any old body, because they know the human temperament is fucked up. And like Bobby said, when the ego shows up, the spirit leaves, or the spirit hauls ass. Cause I'll tell my Irish orders, when they show up and they come kick it with a nigga, they be like kids, little, like a little sister energy. Fairy energy. So that's when you have a light heart, you lighten the heart up. That's why it's important to, no matter what you go through, to always try to relieve yourself of the bullshit, because that's like my boy told me, my boy Sam, Mr. Wilson, when I was in jail, he used to cut my hair. He was like, man, when I told him the story, he was like, about how a nigga got locked up for absolutely no reason. I didn't have nothing to do with it, period. Yeah, he said, don't let that shit give you over to a reprobated heart. If he's a Christian, or he was in the Bible, whatever. But he was in no staunch. He knew how to chill like a regular guy, kick it, tell jokes, and talk. He wasn't beating you over the head with the Bible and all that shit. You know, he was a cool type of dude. You know what I'm saying? Well, you can hang with him without him judging you and shit. You know, he didn't curse or nothing, but like I said, he'll talk shit with you. Like I said, he come around. King, what you got? King, you ain't got nothing. You know? I'll just be sitting there. King, I just walked up to you and just slap fire out the back of your head. What would you do? I'm like, oh man, don't make me get up out this seat. If I gotta get out this seat, it's gonna be a problem. That's how we used to play with each other, man. He was an old just, well, you know, Ezekiel was said we shouldn't joke like that. One of them type of guys. You know, party pooper type dudes, whatever. And he said it because he was like, because I was like one day, we rarely even talk about spirituality. One day we were talking, I was like, well, you know, I said, man, I just be good. I was like, I just be trying to figure out what we was doing, and this was my earlier before I just really got turned all the way on to the knowledge of self. But I was like, I don't even remember how we had this conversation. We wouldn't argue, you know, shit. Like, we never do no debate about it. Well, you Christian, I'm this. And then I forgot how the conversation came about. But I was like, I was just, I'm trying to figure out what was we doing before slavery. Because if they gave us this doing slavery and they was doing something else, that's what it was. And he was like, well, he said, I can tell you this much. I bet you there was a Christ in Africa. He was right. He was like, I bet you they had a Jesus in Africa. So yeah, man. Mr. Wilson. That's my boy, man. So yeah, man. We'll be on the time, 3 minutes. So yeah, I'll read a little more of this and then we'll close this one out. I go upload this shit, but various episodes of the passage through the nether earth and over the waters to the upper paradise that were represented in the drama of the mysteries and detailed in the mythos have been reduced to mere illusions in the ritual. For example, there's a land of weeping, a dwelling place of the god Rem or Remy the Weeper. The mains on his way to Anus is, I have come out of the Tuatha. I have come for the ends of the earth. I passed through the noble dwellings of those who are confined or are coffined. I opened the dwelling of Rem. Okay, I want to explain that in a second. But I opened the dwelling of Rem. This is the place of weeping. In Irish legendary yarn, the voyagers come to the island of weeping. The island is large and full of human beings, black in body and raiment, resting not from the wailing and weeping. That's where the Bible comes from, the gnashing of the teeth in hell and shit. My boy Matthew used to say, I ain't trying to go to hell, Sam. The gnashing of the teeth, I can't deal with the gnashing of the teeth. There was another character too. I wonder where he had Matthew. That was a motherfucker. He was a Bible thought. He was cool too though. He went all the way. In my opinion, he was getting to his Bible shit, but he still fuck one of them hoes down there. But them guards, they would give him a chance, in my opinion. So Matthew, that was a gnashing of the teeth, King. I can't deal with the gnashing of the teeth. Resting not from wailing and weeping. Whosoever lands in this place falls a weeping. This lot happens to one of Melduin's foster brothers and other wanderers who are said to bring them off. The confined ones in the ritual. Chief of who was Osiris in his coffin. I'm still tripping on Matthew. That nigga just tripping out with that shit. Sure. That nigga told him offer a raisin diatra for the weeping realm. Weeping in realm. That nigga thing is surely he does even shit. Surely that ain't true. They be like, be talking shit. Nigga be like, well, surely you're not gonna do that. He's a little guy too. Probably why I roll it. I probably thinking about it. He's about the same size as me and shit. Wheat Street, surely. That nigga, that was a motherfucker. Surely you don't want to do that, young man. Oh, shit. And we did drink beer there. We're going to get into that in the next one. I'm hiccuping because of this shit here. Lawnmower. This is a bad motherfucker right here. A little light. It's dark as shit I usually drink, but rim, weeping. What is the weeping? Surely we'll get to that. Fucking hiccups. Shit. Alright, weeping. What are we talking about? We're talking about the weeping. The weekend weeping. What that motherfucker at? Oh, shit. Okay, well, for starters, the Tears. Shout out to Train. One boy got a song called Drops of Jupiter. Teardrops of Jupiter or something like that. But the Tears, for one, I think when this raises up, wow, the 7 goes up, boom. Then the 7 comes down. The little drops of light, or the little specks of light, which is called the footprints of Buddha, that the melanin, that gel, that sticks to that gel when it creates the 7 chakras down here. They're like it's like the weeping of tears. Say humans were made from the teardrops of Ra. So those specks on here would be the teardrops. That's one. Then Remy. So when all this light comes up, those 7 go up, and then the rest of the light goes to the flanks and flood this out. Flood what was once this, and turns it into this. This is the rim, and the light retracts and leaves another form of this. Turns it back to a carved out. That would be a level version, but turns it into a. What's happening? Shit. We need to go that damn fast. Turn it into a carved out version of this, so it'll be this again, but this time it'll be a depression or like a bowl sunk in like a bowl, and it have little. This one don't have it. I think I'll use paint to draw them in there, but there'd be little specks of light in there, and those would be the teardrops of Ra, or whatever, little specks. So it's the rim weeping. The weeping would be the tears, would be the teardrops of Ra, the teardrops of light. I'm gonna stop right there. Be back in a second.